see you again. My question is there are a lot of foreign elements within the world who are trying to break our country. For example, Gurpatwan Singh Banon is one of them. I would rather, I would like to direct this question to Mr. Jayashankar, but I didn't get a chance last time. But I thought I would get an opinion. How are we trying to handle this as a nation to ensure that these elements do not try and interfere with what we're trying to do within the country? Thank you.
How many people do not understand Telugu? Okay. I will mix it with. Ordinarily, I would like to speak in the language people understand. I don't know if I agree with Srinivas when he talked about 3 M's and D. You may or may not agree, but one thing I'm absolutely certain. India's unity is paramount. Not because of Bharat Mata. Because if there is no unity, there is no peace in India. One time India broke up, it led to the most devastating consequences in human history. Never in non-war time, I don't know if you can call it peacetime, did we have 1.5 million people butchered, about 15 million people forced to migrate permanently, and about 500,000 plus people lost their limbs, some lost their life. No. Manabhangalu Achacharajani. So if India breaks up on whatever ground, north, south, east, west, language, something else, I'm absolutely certain there will be devastation. Common market of India, unity of India, paramount for our peace. Without peace, there is no freedom. Chalamandi, they think that freedom is separate from peace. Now we are all sitting here, we are all discussing freely. We have some ideas, we disagree on some issues. Supposing 100 thugs come here with arms and beat us up. What freedom are you talking about? Without peace, without order, freedom is nonsensical. And without peace and freedom, there is no economic growth. So I have absolutely no doubt, even if you disregard the sectarian issues, even if you grant good intentions to many people who are trying to divide India on region, caste, religion, and language, they are misguided. They somehow think that India can prosper. Even some of my very dear friends and colleagues who worked with me for decades, some of them are talking now about United States of South India. I told them, look, you don't know what you're wishing for. Without the common market of India, there is no economic growth. If some states think that they are prospering independent of India, they are being idiotic. They have no understanding of economics or society. Now, I don't think we need external forces to cause problems, because India is a most unlikely nation state, because nobody in 1950 gave India much of a chance of being united for 50 or 60 years. We defied all those predictions and doomsdayers. I am supremely confident that we are going to safeguard the unity of India, but not without being alert to the potential dangers. Not from outside, from within, from foolish thinking. And somehow converting a silly idea into a grand principle, and then digging in, forgetting what actually it means, how much we are benefiting. Forget everything else, just imagine one thing. 18% of humanity, we're not even 1/6, we're now bigger than 1/6. 18% of humanity, with the world's greatest diversity, we are able to speak in one voice for the world. If there are 50 voices representing these 1400 million people, the world will be much more unmanageable. So view it from any sense. What I see is next 15 years, roughly, are a danger period for the country. Just as an opportunity beckons, economic growth, national greatness, infrastructure, incomes rising, etc., there's a real opportunity there. But unless we are very careful in our politics and in our economic management, right now we do not have a majority for India's economic growth. We do not have a majority. That's why all of us are important. None of you needs to be told anything new, because Sudhakarji and Sureshji and Prabhakar Garu, they spoke so eloquently. I don't have to say anything more. But what I want to alert you is the battle for India's future, our children's future, is not over today or in this election. At least for another 2 decades. Take the 2018 assembly election in Telangana. Forget which party won, which party lost. The whole of Hyderabad city voted in one manner. Because there is a majority for economic growth and a future in Hyderabad city. Rest of Telangana voted differently. Because there is no majority for economic growth. Because we have not given them a hope and a realistic vision. As they say, Jayaprakash చెప్పగలుగుతారు, the ఉపనిషత్తుల్లో ఓంకార పరివృత్తం విశ్వం సంకల్ప పరిమితం దృశ్యం. If you cannot imagine a better future, if you cannot envision a better future, then you are limited in your ideas. Therefore, short-term freebies dominate our thinking. And in a poor country, if people yield to short-term freebies, they are victims. Don't treat them as villains. It is our duty after this election, because winning this election is not enough. After this election, to give stakes to the majority in the country that yes, growth matters to us. And again about this unity business, we have to link it with what is happening in society and politics. Many people are saying, BJP is dividing on religious lines. If BJP says, for instance, women should not participate here, if BJP says women should not have reproductive rights, they should not have equal rights in marriage or property, they should not play a role in society and economy, we all must stand up against BJP and defeat them. If they're using religion and culture as a way of uniting and empowering people and modernizing our society, what's our problem? There's something bigger than politics going on in the country. A social revolution is now in the offing. In a society that is fragmented for millennia, there is a conscious attempt, a deliberate attempt to unify. It's not perfect, it can't be perfect, but a really big effort is going on. We are forgetting it. Similarly, a society divided by caste, there is no question that in India, by birth, is a lot of discrimination and insult and humiliation and indignity. If BJP says people born in a certain caste will dominate, people born in other castes will forever be slaves, we all should rise up against that. But they are somehow trying to bring everybody on board and give an opportunity. Sureshji talked about the numbers. So what's our problem? Now ideally, as a man who has no religion, I'm an agnostic, ideally I would want a rational approach based on evidence and logic to dominate, but that is a world that is impossible right now. There's no place on earth where complete rational thought will prevail. At least definitely India will take another 50, 100 years. So if you use the religious idiom, the stories that Sudhakarji told us, for instance, if you use that to inspire us, to enlighten us, what's the problem? And this message must go, because the idea that disunity is coming from cultural factors is not a very accurate one. But I believe that we can safeguard unity. But what I want to alert you is the reason why all of us must not only vote and pay, but also pay attention is the danger lies in the next 15 years most probably. If 15 years or 7-8% growth rate is there, my assessment is a majority will have stakes in growth. Once that happens, this country's unity, this country's future greatness, both are assured. And I hope that all of us will fight for that. It's not Modi's fight. It's not one candidate's fight or one party's fight. This is the fight for the future of India. Welcome to Rajendra Garu, our candidate for Malkaji.